Good afternoon. I've put together this guide for primary school teachers to carry out an action research project identifying how children's metacognition is impacted by time of day. Metacognition is known as the process of one's understanding of their own thought processes. This also considers problem solving, self-evaluation, past experience, and the ability to apply previous learning to new concepts. Since the Labour government came into power in 1997, it was recommended that literacy and numeracy were taught for at least an hour in each school day. This strategy has been in place ever since, with most primary schools aiming to teach core subjects such as English and maths in morning sessions. This is with the belief that children are more focused and have better cognitive ability earlier in the day. Although there is little scientific research proving for or against this argument, a study by Dimitrova in 2016 found that maths results were significantly lower being taught in the afternoon. She also found that lower attaining children benefited more from morning maths sessions compared to the afternoons. However, upon investigation, I found that there is little research regarding metacognition and how it is affected by time of day. A study on meta-memory and young adults found that when given a list of words to remember and recall, participants were more successful at the task in the afternoon. Because participants predicted that recall would be more successful in the afternoon, this may suggest that self-regulated learning could be impacted by time of day and optimal peak times for individual learning. This supports my research inquiry, as the analysis of further data could be beneficial to primary school teaching practice. However, contradicting this theory, Wheel 2017 found that 68% of 9 to 11-year-olds had faster cognitive reaction times later in the day. Another study involving secondary school students found that memory recall and problem-solving skills were better in the afternoons compared to the morning. Therefore, there is an opportunity for further research into how metacognition is affected by time of day. It is commonly thought by primary schools that the brain is more receptive to new information in the morning, hence why difficult subjects that require optimum focus are taught in morning sessions, although there is little scientific research proving for or against this. A research project I have designed a research project involving a Year 4 class of mixed ability students, where they will sit 3 maths papers on 3 consecutive days, first week in the morning, and 3 maths papers in the following week in the afternoon. This will allow for quantitative data to be collected and compared across the 2 weeks. A mixed method approach will be used, and gaining quantitative data via maths test results and qualitative data via student feedback questionnaires at the end of the last test. This will allow for both quantitative and qualitative data to be collected and analysed across the 2 weeks. An action research study approach will be the most effective to find out if children's metacognition is impacted by time of day. An action research approach aims to achieve a fresh perspective with a view to change or improvement to teacher practice. An action research project also helps to promote immediate and practical solutions. It helps teachers to reflect on their own practice and improve, and is focused on a specific problem and helps bridge the gap between theory and practice. This is a better choice of research method rather than a case study, as case studies are longitudinal over time, so could take more time, and are focused on specific group or individuals. For example, the impacts of one-to-one teaching for children with additional learning needs. That could be an example of a case study. The disadvantages of case studies that there may be a chance of researcher bias, and there may be difficulty generalizing findings as it's specifically a specific group or individual focused. With this study, as with all studies, ethical considerations need to be taken. All data will be password protected and will need to be password protected to maintain confidentiality. All children will be identified with a simple letter on a spreadsheet, so A, B, C, or D, and so on. There is no risk of harm to children with this experiment, so no consent from parents or carers will be required. However, the researcher may wish to just explain what's happening, what they're doing with the parents or carers, just so that they understand. But no disruption will take place, and as the experiment isn't really out of normal classroom activities. To ensure inclusivity, ample time should be given for tests to allow for the whole class to finish despite them having mixed abilities. So making sure that there is ample time and that the children who may have slower processing speeds or cognitive and learning difficulties are not segregated or made to feel any different during this process. There may be a limitation of the feedback survey, with children possibly not being able to identify the emojis on the Likert scale questionnaire and what they represent. So to help assist with this, I have given a pictorial key to guide them. There may be some limitations to this study, such as external influences on metacognition, such as learning difficulties, family, social motivation, behavioural issues, or peer interaction or distraction. Some pupils working below age-related expectations also. This must be considered, and possible adaptations made to their maths questions to give them a fair opportunity to gain the same level of results. I think with metacognition, it is difficult to assess thoroughly because every individual has different levels of ability. Every individual has different ways of processing their own thought processes. So, and also having monitored metacognition under exam conditions, this might have another effect on the children, whereas monitoring their metacognition during actual teaching rather than testing may again give different results. So I think it provides an opportunity to learn and to try and see if further opportunities for research could be taken. Thank you.